So, Firebase Z has been out 6 days now, and I've taken the time to put some time into it. I think I've put a good few hours into it at this point. So, having experienced it as much as I have now, I think it's time to finally make a video about it. So, for today's talk, I just want to talk a little bit about this brand new map because I think it's a very nice addition to Cold War Zombies. I think it's a lot of fun. It's really solid and just all around a very enjoyable and very pleasant experience. Just starting off with the map itself, immediately I prefer it to Die Machine if we're going off of just the maps themselves, and in terms of design, layout, aesthetic, just general look, feel, and vibe. This map is not only very aesthetically pleasing and just pure eye candy to look at, but it's also very Black Ops 1-esque. This took me right back to 2010 when I was playing on this map. In fact, every time it does. And the fact that it looks like a mix of different aspects of different Black Ops 1 multiplayer maps combined into one, I think really helps that out a lot. It also has some Black Ops 1 campaign vibes, maybe some of that zombies as well. Well, of course. Actually, yeah, in the zombies models themselves, there's definitely some Black Ops 1 vibes there. So, yeah, this truly feels like a sequel to that game. This truly feels like a sequel to that, and for those who don't like any aspects of any OG maps whatsoever, which that's understandable because you can only want to see the same recycled content so many times before it gets boring, which, considering this is Call of Duty, we see it pretty much all the time anyways. Even if it looks slightly different, it is still reused. But at least in terms of aesthetics, people don't want it to look exactly the same. And thankfully, for those who were hoping for a completely original brand new map, this is that. And that's great. That's awesome to see. That is really cool to see. Nothing of any previous map. Sure, it's based off of one of the campaign levels, but this is how Zombies was always done back in the day. It was based off of campaign levels, or taking campaign or multiplayer levels and building upon them and changing them around a little bit, but still having them be those same maps at the core, and utilizing them and making some great content out of that. That's how we got the greats like Darius, for example. So I see nothing wrong with reusing campaign assets so long as it's just not reusing previous zombie maps for parts of that, which I thought it was fine in Die Machine, but if they decide to not do that for every map, that's honestly just as great, because brand new original maps, that's pretty cool. Albeit I did not play Black Ops 4, but I have done my research to know that people gave that game shit for having too much of the same maps and ruined because of unnecessary design choices. So yeah, all in all, just the map itself, I really like it. I was definitely a bit shocked by the size of it. Like, I was definitely expecting it to be bigger. Not to say that it's too small of a map. It's medium-sized, I want to say. But I was definitely expecting it to be a bit larger in size. Like, the main courtyard area that you spawn into, I was expecting that whole area to be a lot bigger in size. But the size they go with here, that's perfectly fine too. The map, I think, does its job. And I think there's a good amount of quality activities to do here, like powering on everything and the way you go about that, and being able to pack a punch and being able to turn on all the perks. It's very reminiscent of the map Origins from Black Ops 2, except unlike that map, you don't need to keep going back and defending the generators after the fact. Here, they're on permanently, and it's nice, and as much as I love Origins, that sort of thing gets tedious after a while. So, you know, it's cool that they've dialed it back here and just left it as, here you go, it's activated, move on to the next one, and then once everything's on, you can buy everything. And in terms of new things that you can buy, I actually really like Tombstone here. I didn't care for it in Black Ops 2, but it acts as, in this game, who's who from Black Ops 2, but actually useful, since you're not just stuck having to get to your body with just a pistol. You get your weapons and everything, so it's a huge improvement, and it's what the perk should have been. So it's very nice to see. They combined the two possibly worst perks in all the zombies and made them into one that is not shit. So props to Treyarch for that. I also like the new score streak, for example, or just kill streak, whatever. You know, it changes depending on who's developing the COD game, or just depending on the COD game itself. I don't know. You guys know what I mean. But I really like the new napalm strike. That's a lot of fun to use, especially when you're defending those areas of the map where the zombies attack, and then everyone's got to go there to that area, and then you have the sentry turret set up automatically, killing all the zombies that come in, as well as being able to purchase airstrikes. This is all really nice additions, and it definitely helps the map stand out, and honestly, I could say it's one of the more cinematic maps in Zombies. It feels more like a campaign level, but with zombies as the enemy instead. And speaking of the zombies themselves, there's a very nice variety of zombies here. Sure, there is definitely not as much with Die Machine, but I think that they definitely fixed that with this, because you don't just have the regulars, you have the Mimic, you have the Wranglers, which I guess we're actually in Garad Crovy from Black Ops 3. I played that map like once or twice, just not enough to remember anything about it. I wasn't too keen on some of the Black Ops 3 maps during that game's life cycle. They were just too complicated for my dumbass brain. So I just couldn't figure it out. So instead of doing that and spending 8 hours looking up tutorials, I just didn't really try out those maps. But in hindsight, I actually look at them in a bit more pleasant perspective, and I've tried them again, and they're not bad maps. Just anyways, I'm getting off topic. So yeah, they brought back that enemy. There's also armored zombies. They've also brought back hellhounds, the OG hellhounds from the old games, but in the form of suicide bombers. So zombie dogs, hellhounds in this game mode over the years have gone from being a threat to not being shit in Black Ops 3 to just being straight up replaced in Die Machine to coming back as kamikaze pilots in Firebase C. Wow, what a legacy to live, huh? I think I'm forgetting another enemy type. I'm not sure. I genuinely don't remember, but either way, there's a nice variety here. And, I guess the last thing I can say is, I also like the story elements here. Like, that's a part of why it feels more cinematic. In that context, it definitely reminds me more of Origins because of the cinematic vibe of it. Like, I'm definitely interested to see where the story goes and where we see Samantha Maxis and all the other characters go from here. Sure, the last map wasn't too story heavy, but I think that they didn't intend for that to be the case. They just wanted to establish the start of something new, and now that we're starting to go somewhere with this new story, they're actually going to start implementing story elements, even though we're not playing as characters, just regular multiplayer operators, which is fine, but I still do miss playing as scripted characters, but it is what it is. So with that being said, yeah, that's pretty much everything. In terms of things I don't like, I guess yeah, there's a good variety of things to do here, but at the same time, while there is quality, I don't think there's enough content, per se. Yes, there's nice quality here, but I think the map needed a bit more of that, which granted, considering its size, I get. But I do think it could have used a little bit more activities, because, like, around round 30, I want to say, it starts losing its fun factor. It just becomes boring. Especially when it just reaches a point where it's just pure chaos, just zombies literally everywhere as everyone's running around, just trying to eliminate whatever they see, which that's tons of fun, especially when you're defending. But after a while of doing that, around the time you hit round 30, it's sort of like, okay, I'm done here, which granted, that is what exfilling is for. But still, I think the map needed a few more activities, maybe. And, I guess a few more things I can mention, actually. Since, we don't plan this out here in Michi Major. That takes not being spontaneous enough. I'm too spontaneous to plan things out with these, specific videos. That's the ADHD thing, That's how it rolls. But, yeah, I definitely do like the new Wonder Weapon. That's a lot of fun to use. And, I guess actually another bad thing I didn't enjoy was the lag. That was a fucking problem. Like, there was major connection issues in the first few games. Granted, that hasn't been a problem in later matches, but earlier ones, that was an issue, so hopefully that's been ironed out. I feel like it has been since I haven't been dealing with it, but yeah, that was definitely an annoyance. Granted, I played this entirely with randoms. I didn't play it with friends or solo like I did Die Machine, which I may do at some point, but, even with randoms, matches for the most part still managed to be very, very nice, aside from the first one where I just got booted after like a few rounds because of how bad the lag was. But yeah, even with randoms, I still managed to exfil 2 times, and randoms were trying to do the Easter egg as well. I guess there's enough people interested, so that's a good thing. But yeah, all in all, I definitely really enjoy Firebase Z. It's a nice addition. Now, should this have been the only thing we've been waiting this long for? As much as I enjoy this map, no. Like, knowing that the game came out in November and now we're in February, the fact that it took this long to come out, yeah, no. I think that it should have been there at launch, or it should have come out sooner than it did. Like, who knows? Maybe the map wasn't finished. But considering how much games nowadays are all about removing content from launch and reselling it as DLC, or in this case, free DLC, I wouldn't put Activision past Treyarch to tell them, yeah, just save that content for post-launch and then put it in the game after the fact. Which, wasn't there rumors about that anyways? Rumors and leaks? I'm pretty sure there was a lot of rumors and leaks about that to back up, but you know, there's so many rumors and leaks going around that it's hard to keep up with everything. But yeah, all in all, enjoyed this map. And I'm definitely looking forward to the other maps that come out in the future. Just hopefully that's not the only content that comes out for this game mode, and they don't neglect it too much, because, man, COD just really neglects anything that isn't Warzone nowadays, or just Battle Royale. They just don't give a fuck. It just doesn't matter to them anymore. So hopefully they'll treat this mode well with more quality content like Firebase Z, because this, again, for the 100th time, was a very nice addition. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. What about you guys? Did you enjoy the map? You hate the map? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Yeah, that's all I have to say. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe for future content coming soon, as well as turn on the notification bell and set it to all notifications, and I'll see you all next time. But until then, I'm out. Later.